Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.
Go on, sing it.
The blunts are falling apart again.
The blunts are falling apart again.
Leon sing.
You're a class.
No. Leon
Say hi.
hi.
Welcome to Imagine Not Being Leeds.
Imagine Not Being Leeds.
Yay. Anyways, I thought we'd do something a bit different today. So as you know, I've got memberships on the channel and I really want to give back to some of these new friends I've made. Class set of lads in membership group. The blunts are falling apart again. The blunts are falling apart. So anyway, I've asked them all 3 questions. Some of them have answered, some weren't too keen on being on camera. Understandable. But here they are. Anyways, before I move on actually, you don't realise how much kids pee and crap until you're having your new bathroom fitted. Nightmare. Dad. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Sean, Wilco Whites. So, Matty's questions. Who's my hero? Leeds United hero and why? I don't actually have a hero. Favourite player, which is obviously Tony Yeboah. The guy came in. He was just a different striker to anything we'd ever had before. The power of the man. Goal scoring. Left foot, right foot, header. Every goal he scored, it was just precise. Again, power. I just loved everything about the guy. I really did. And, you know, he wasn't at Leeds not long enough for me, but the impression he left on me, the goals he scored, tap-ins, he could do it all. Tap-ins, long range, come on. Iconic goals, the Wimbledon goal, the Liverpool goal. They're iconic strikes that'll live on for forever, you know. And the compilation videos you see of Yeboah's goals, most of them are really good goals as well. You know, the goals against Scum, Monaco, the goals against, you know, Monaco in Europe, and it was the time for me where it was next level. It were a next level player for me, and he just came in and took my breath away. And I'll always remember Tony Yeboah for those memories, those goals. And I was absolutely gutted. He's only actually one of a few players that I was actually gutted that he left Leeds United, and I didn't like the way it happened. But yeah, I'll always remember Tony Yeboah.
Who's my Leeds United hero and why? It's a good question, Matty. And you always want to name a few, don't you? But for me, there is more than one. But for me, if I had to pick, and you backed me into a corner, you was like, Boss Nash, you're picking a player. Stop with the waffle. I would go for Gary Kelly. Gary Kelly, for me, in my head, it'll be different for everybody, but in my mind, Gary Kelly defines Leeds United for me. The way he worked so hard for the team, the way he wore his heart on his sleeve, he'd never shy out of a tackle, left everything on the pitch, and, you know, importantly, he loved the club. When you think of players, especially from that generation, like, for me, the 90s was epic. You know, you think of West Ham and Paolo Di Canio comes to your mind, and Mark Noble. You think of, you know, Liverpool, say for instance, and you think iconic players for them, like McManaman, Fowler. A bit later on, Gerrard. And for me, that's what Gary Kelly is when I think of Leeds. When I close my eyes and think of Leeds, I think Gary Kelly. And look, I think it's because I started watching Leeds when, obviously, I was a young kid. Gary Kelly was in the team. And he was in the team for a long time, so I kind of grew up with that evolving team all the way through the Champions League days and even out of the Champions League days. With Gary Kelly just always being there, always being that stalwart of the team. So for me, Matty, the answer to your question, who's your Leeds United hero and why? Gary Kelly.
Afternoon everybody, Priestley here. Matt is given some of his 3 questions to answer. So question 1, who is your Leeds United hero? Well, I was lucky enough to see the league winning side of 92 and the Champions League heroes of the early century. So my hero is someone who's not really spoken enough about, I feel, Gary Kelly. The only player to make more than 500 appearances for Leeds that didn't play under Don Revie. What a player, what a guy. Used to live quite near to me. Used to bump into him at cricket club. Always had time for kids and for fans. Always. So he'd be my choice for hero.
Hi, it's Sean Healy here. Matty's asked me to answer a few questions for him, for his channel. The first question of which is my Leeds United hero, who has to be Gary Kelly with being Irish. He came from a club that was not too far away from me in Home Farm before he went to Leeds. And then he was a constant player at right back for the club through the Wilco era, the Champions League days and the dreaded Championship days. Before he got retired, he was a one club man. He wore his heart on his sleeve, and I think he's a great role model for any Irish players coming through.
Hi guys, MC Passion here, or Colin, known as. So the first question that Matty's asked is, who is my Leeds United hero? My hero for Leeds is Marcelo Bielsa. He's the one person for me that got me excited about football, that made me think that football can be played in a way that's never been played before. And, you know, the way he came across, the way he was, you know, making players stay over to prove their loyalty, to meeting fans in Morrison's, or, you know, turning down the chance to live in a 4-star hotel and living in above a sweet shop in Wetherby. I mean, just little things like that. He brought the city, the culture, the club, everyone together. And for me, he's the one person, the only manager I will ever cry over will be Marcelo Bielsa, I think, in my life.
Second question. Why do I follow Leeds and what are the earliest memories of the club? Okay, so my uncle took me to a Leeds game and that's it. That's the programme from the game. 1987. Programme 50p against West Bromwich Albion, May the 4th, 1987. And since then, and I can't remember the game, all I can remember is the atmosphere. And it wouldn't have been fantastic. I mean, Division 2, it wouldn't have been fantastic. But I just remember it. It was one of the first grounds I've been to, one of the first big grounds I've been to, and I was just blown away by the atmosphere. I'll just look at on the back. I'll read you through some of the players. Mervyn Day in goal, Neil Aspin, Bobby McDonald, Mark Hazelwood, Jack Ashurst, Brendan Ormsby, Andy Ritchie, John Sheridan, John Pearson, Ian Bird and Mickey Adams. Yeah, but yeah, that was my first game at Leeds United, and yeah, I don't really keep a lot of programmes, but I'm so glad I kept this one. I mean, 1987, I was 9 years old. No, was I? 9 years old. 9 years old I was. So that's why I support Leeds, and it's the earliest memory.
Why do I support Leeds, Matty? It's in the family, first off. My dad was a Leeds fan. My dad's dad, so my granddad, never met him, passed away before I was born. But he was a Leeds fan, and he was from Leeds. So, you know, the family moved, you know, over to the coast. That's why we've got the old Bridgetown Seasiders shirt on, because I do support my local team. But you know, Leeds is my boyhood team because my dad influenced me into it, and his dad influenced him into it. And if I was to guess, his dad's dad influenced him into that. If you can hear any background noise, apologies. My son's playing with Lego, but it is what it is, people. So yeah, that's why I support Leeds. It's a very simple answer, and I reckon it's a very common one, but that's why I support Leeds. My granddad, on my mum's side actually, he was also a big part in it because, and I don't know why, my dad's not here anymore so I can't ask him, but he never took me to a game, and I never knew why, because he played through the school team. He was big into playing his football. I was never that good at it. I played it a bit, but I was never that good at it. But my granddad, he was like, asked me one day, do you want to go watch rugby or do you want to go watch football? And obviously, I'd been to rugby quite a lot to watch the Tigers, so I went to football. And that just cemented it for me then. You know, the Leeds used to be, well, football in general used to be on terrestrial TV a lot more back when I was a kid. FA Cup, even like league games and stuff like that. You get the odd one. You get everybody remember Football Italia? That was a banger. But yeah, he took me to a game, and then my other earliest memory is watching it round his house. And I couldn't tell you who they were playing. I know it was an FA Cup tie, and I know it was on TV, but I won't be able to tell you who it was against. That's why I support Leeds United.
Number 2, why do I support Leeds United? Well, apart from having an immense amount of common sense, my granddad is the number one reason. Season ticket holder for more than 70 years. Honestly, used to just show me videos constantly when I was a young'un. Just, I think it was called 100 Goals on repeat. VHS. Bremner, Giles, Lorimer, Clark. The absolute works. And he was never going to let me support anyone else. Always took me to my first game when I was 7 or 8. I think we played Man City. But I was hooked. Took me to the parade in City Centre when we won the league, 1992. That's my earliest memory of Leeds. I mean, yeah, okay, it's a bit of glory supporter, but that's my earliest memory. Stood in the same place for this year's parade, just opposite the train station. So yeah, I was lucky enough to grow up as a Leeds fan with my granddad. Always took me to games, and I'm actually lucky enough that my season ticket is now where he stood at Ellen Road. So it feels like he's always there with me whenever I'm watching a game.
The second one is, what is my earliest memory of Leeds? And the earliest memory for Leeds is probably, unfortunately, the playoff final. Oh no, sorry, am I on about the playoff final against Bristol Rovers? Sorry, it was a great memory. Beckford's goal, of course, Grado getting sent off and Johnny Howson scoring. Brilliant day, and it was the first time I think where I thought, wow, this is the club that I want to be with, the club that I want to be part of, the club that I want to support for the rest of my life, and just everything. I don't know, just got really excited and what a club, what a culture this is, and what a thing to be part of. And I've never looked back since. And since then, every day, it's the first thing I think about when I wake up, and the last thing I do when I go to bed. I love Leeds with all my heart, and yeah, whenever I'm feeling down or feeling depressed, I'll just watch all Leeds games, or whenever Leeds on, I'm happy. It really does affect whether we win or lose my moods, just because I'm so emotionally invested in the club, and I don't think I'll ever change, no matter how old I get.
The next question that Matt wanted to answer was why I love Leeds, and my earliest memory of supporting Leeds. Why I love Leeds is a great fan base. great crowds, great players. The goosebumps you get when you hear that marching on together, sung in such unison, and as one. And the earliest memory I would have from watching Leeds would be with my brother, watching all the Wilco era videos on VHS, which is a very old thing. With my brother, watching great players like Gary Speed, McAllister, Strachan, Batty, Rod Wallace, and the greatest Irish player ever in Gary Kelly. Not that scum player Roy Keane. And yeah, that's great memory of my brother, having great times with my brother.
What are your realistic expectations and views for the upcoming season? Just stay up, don't get relegated. Realistically, it's going to be tough. It's going to be a battle. Every point we're going to be scrapping for. A draw will be good, although we do need to obviously throw some wins in there as well. Draws aren't going to do it for us. I just know it's going to be tough. Anything higher than 17th is a plus for me. So yeah, it's just that's what I'm expecting. I just expect us to get better than 17th or 17th, and that's it. I'm not going any more than that, and that'll be a good season for me if we can do that. I'll speak to you soon. Cheers.
Yeah, this season's going to be rock hard. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be touch and go whether we survive, and if we do survive, it's because we've got recruitment absolutely smashed out the park. We've replaced the keeper well. We've solidified the defence, which needs some work. In fact, every area of the pitch needs work. Midfield, the spine, definitely the forward positions. We need a striker that we kind of know if he gets a good chance, he's going to stay calm and slot it away, because chances will be few and far between. Is the manager good enough? He's had 2 previous attempts at the Premier League, failed both times. The counter argument to that is, was he backed? Not as much as he would have liked. I'm sure he'd definitely say that. Are we going to back him? Every indicator would say yes. Everything's pointing towards yes. Do I think he's got the tactical ability, the tactical mind to compete against these managers, which are the best in the world, in the best division in the world? Jury's out for me. The jury's out. I mean, depends what you want to do. Do you want to be that guy that's like, yeah, Fark's going to do it until he proves otherwise. Look what he's given us these last 2 seasons. Fair enough. That's a valid, very valid position to have on it. Or do you have the position of, I don't think he's good enough, which is a subjective opinion. Alright, that's an opinion based on what you've seen, what you think his abilities are, what you think his limitations are. That's also a very valid opinion to have. The proof will be in the pudding. How do Leeds do this season? If we do very well, and I mean very, very, very well, we'll finish 17th. And if we don't pull every single rabbit out of the hat, unfortunately we've seen what's happened in the last 3 years. It'll be relegation. Come on, we can do it, man. We can do it. Fuck you, big German slick-haired dude. Come on, man. Come on.
And question number 3, what do I expect from this season? I'd take 17th. I would take 17th in a heartbeat. Consolidate, go next season, try and get us up that table. Need to back Fark though. Need to back Fark and get recruitment spot on. And it's all about getting the right mix of entertainment and experience. You can go get players like Rafinha, that's fine. But you need players like Souček, for instance. I'd take Souček. He's not a glamorous name, but someone that's been there, done it, won a European trophy. I'd happily have him. Anyway, peace out.
And third question, a most important question that he's asked me. Where two are going to finish in the league this season, and any predictions? I think we'll finish between 12th and 15th. Because I think we'll back Fark will get back by the 49ers, I think, and we'll finish 12th to 15th. But my big prediction is we're going to play Scum on the last game of the season, and we're going to relegate them. And it's going to be Dan James is going to score the winning goal last minute, and we can all laugh at Scum getting relegated.
The third question is, what is my realistic expectation for this season? It's going to be hard. And as we know that the gap's getting bigger, and it's already is bigger in the club. In the Premier League, teams are very finding it hard. Even spending upwards of 200 million, teams are still getting relegated. Some teams are not even reaching 30 points. The ones that are going up. Honestly, realistic expectation is probably 15th. I think 17th. I'd snap your hand off it for now, but if we could push, then that'd be even better. It'd be nice to break the cycle of promoted clubs going down. I think Leeds can do that. We've said the stadium expansion, the way the 49ers want to build the club. Obviously, with Rangers being part of their consortium, they want to build a franchise, and they want Leeds to be the centre of it. And as Leeds fans, will demand that we get better as a club, as a team. Facilities, and obviously with the stadium expansion coming, it's really crucial that Leeds have to be in the Prem financially, and I think Leeds do deserve to be part of that 20 teams in the Premier League every season because of just how we are. When we came up last time, we were everyone's second team. I didn't like that personally. I like when everyone hates us. It makes me feel better. The odd one out, the team that no one can stand. You had people like Gary Neville and Roy Keane absolutely glowing all over us. People I wouldn't even mention the same sentences in Leeds, but that's how much the surprise factor and the surprise package that came with Leeds, and unfortunately it went downhill. I'm hoping now with a new regime, a new system and build, a new people who financially can back us and not just think that putting plasters on a massive scar or massive bloodshed can fix it, because it doesn't. It's a temporary fix, and we saw, unfortunately, last season previous season, it didn't work. So like I said, 15th to 17th. Everyone, please go check out Matty's son, the Gary Speed one. It's really, really good, and he's worked really hard in it. I'll see you all later. March them together.
Speaking of heroes. Go on, Jonah. Forever true. Good boy. Please make sure you check this video out, and please download the song. The link is in the description for the video. Please download. Every penny goes to Andy's Man Club. Charity close to my heart, as you know. Please check the video out. Please download. Oh, speed.